the Britain's occupied by the Northern Army that came over about 1,000 years ago, and they're still occupied, and they're still here, and they're still grinders with us, and they're not nice people, and they occupy Scotland. So Scotland's independence means that they're being kicked out. Well, they're going to be kicked out of Wales, Cornwall, and slowly eliminated. And that's what should happen. They treat the people they call workers, but actually Saxons, you know, and so they treat them very badly. Give them second-class jobs, everything, and they need to be eliminated. When we're young, we think we get anywhere, but we don't, because they beat us down. And I understand they have now discovered they've been accused again of this terrible murder, and they said they executed me when I was still alive. I don't remember being executed or accused. And so I asked it on. I don't even think of doing things like that. Nonsense. I couldn't. Something I couldn't do. And the Christians are attacking me, and others. I think my friend Brian has come under attack now. He's probably dead, I don't know, or maybe just drugged or brain damaged. But he came under attack when she came to this country. And this Romanian girl I met, who's, well, I've lost touch with her now, but if I see her again, I'll talk to her. She came to this country full of hope, and she immediately had her handbag stolen, and there was the money in it, and so she had nothing. I don't know what she did. I don't know what she did, but the police don't reimburse the money. Like one time, the criminals don't reimburse the money. And now she's suggested to you, I don't know where she lives. I think she's probably sleeping in the bed. I don't know, but I don't know. I don't know what she's doing. But she may be sleeping in branches somewhere on the concrete. But that's what Edith does. They go somewhere and hide, and they survive. But you have a short life if you sleep rough. And I can't. Edith is 1,000 miles away, and I can't really do very much. I can send her a small amount of money. If I send a big amount of money, it just goes. I can't keep doing it. I give her the maid to come here several times, and she hasn't turned up. And when I go abroad, they stopped paying me. It's a dead loss. And of course, the Romanian girl is not to do with me. I like her, but she. I think she may have come when I was asleep. I'm not sure. I vaguely remember when I was asleep the noise of a doorbell, people started banging on the door. But I couldn't. I was asleep, and I was at the television. I was about the conflict in Ukraine, and it got mixed up with that. So I was asleep and wake up. So it's a shame, so I've missed the opportunity. But hopefully she'll find somebody else to look after her. But I can't do very much. I can only give her home comforts, and that's all. I can't give her any money. And she could go to work. Well, anyway. I don't think she speaks English. I don't know. I can talk to her, but she seems to understand me. But it's a sad world. And there's not much I can do about it, you know. So that's it. There's not much I can do about it. And well, the Normans have a disease in the head. It's not really a mental illness. It's the education is to think that they're better other people, but they need to keep it there. And they know how to get rid of people. And they're terrible murderers. They're not the only ones, of course. And I think Hitler was got by somebody on stage, and so he's turned to kill them all. That's not the answer. I was attacked by Christians. They got me. They clever lot. They stole my money and did nasty things to me. So I feel very angry. And I'm like, it's not right to kill them, but they deserve it because they're ridiculous. They're just lunatics. And the people who get hurt want to get back their own, what they had stolen, and or avenge the death of their friends. And that's what causes wars. And the Christians do cause wars. And all these delusional beliefs of the West have caused a lot of wars in the last 1,000 years. At least the last 1,000 years. They're all delusions, really. They're all invented by the priesthood. And it's possible this priests are actually not human beings at all. Now, I'm not a human being, but I look human, and I'll continue to look human until I die, and then I shall be somewhere else. But that's what most people believe. Go somewhere else, we die. So I'm no different. But of course, it could be delusional belief. I can't tell. But you can't tell you've got delusions. It's just your personality, and so most priests say there's no chance of mortality. You die, and you come back and tell a friend and say you've been deceived. So it's awful. Priests are awful people. It's their job to die. It's what they're paid to do. And at least they're paid by the congregation. But unfortunately, that's how it is, and it's nasty. The communists try to eliminate priests, and they're being jeered up for being communists because the communists had a good idea, and they were very successful. And if they hadn't tried to make war with the West, they would not have gone down. And there was a sort of balanced peace. It was very nice, but it was too expensive for everybody. And I think the Westerners decided to bankrupt them. They were successful. It's just an arms race where the Russians couldn't win. Of course, these arms races are a complete waste because weapons only injure people and kill people and destroy property. They cost money to build. They have the effect of costing money. So that's what they do. And it's a disease. It's a sort of disease. You get such stories about animals that eventually have a civilization for them. Have a war fight. So we're like that. So we're like, and because we're all descended from these lemmings that run over cliffs. I don't think they tend to kill themselves, but as these migrational periods. And we descended from a coral polyp with a lancet, which was originally a coral polyp and a clown, so I'm not sure which polyp it was, but or clown or something. And there's certain anatomical features of the human body that resembles a clown. And there's the bottom of the lady. His bottom has a structure which resembles the body of a clown, and the mouth is similar. So maybe we're related to that. I don't know. It's evolution. It's conservative. The evolution is conservative. Your structure is still there, and that shows that these clams would have this migrational phase. The gravel goes past us and eat it, but but they, it's but when they have this phase where this mobile phase, they go up and find mates and then settle down. The sessile phase. Well, I'm in the sessile phase. I'm sitting, so it means we sit down, and we have this phase of fighting each other and again. And it's to do with running out of resources. Other animals, apes and monkeys, which are related to the human beings and primates, actually have this period of fighting every now and again, where the food runs out, or the resources run out in a particular area, and the apes will migrate and meet another group of apes, and they fight it out for territory. It's to do feeding and so on. And we're the same. But you see, I don't quite know why what's happening if you think about it in toast terms, this ape we call ourselves, the human ape, the great white ape, as I say, is attempting to enroach other territory of other people in order to make sure that the food and resources. It's difficult. This is expanding all the time. You've got this called Malthus worked it out. It was pressure of population. Population increases, the resources don't use quite so fast, and we fight over them. At the moment, for a long time, resources did increase as fast as the population because as the population grew, so the productivity grew. And man has productivity. When a man by himself can only scrap a living, you just about survive. When a small group, I think the smallest group of human beings is 100, cumulative 100, and that's just enough to survive because each man has a spare capacity, but that's not available until there's lots of them, and then there's the professions. And now we've got a society of millions, we can have aeroplanes and trains and things. That's where it's trouble. But that's the only, because only a few people do it. And we have all these inventions, so for a long time we weren't really. So it's just at the plough, a few bits and pieces. And people kept on starting from the beginning, well, this, it's been built up. And it's probably an evolutionary change in this thing up here at some stage. And we're now capable of science and inventing things that we weren't before. The Romans had quite a technology. And the Roman technology might, well, it's still in the Roman period, really, it was still Romans. But every now and again, something happens. And the Pope actually wants to destroy this technology because he's losing his dinners over it. The priests get hungry, you know, they want more. And so that sort of thing's going on. It's nothing to do with religion. Religion is just to keep people in order, that's all. It's a lie. And it's the opium of the masses. I mean, rich people who don't believe in the religion take opium or take drugs. Well, that doesn't solve any problem. They die young. And having delusions about going to space is another nice religion, which is, I mean, you see, they've got this idea that we should have religion. There's a clause in the United Nations Charter about religion. And of course, the Christians don't allow any other religion. So if they don't accept anybody can be anything other than a Christian. And the Muslims also say it's the default, you know. And the communists would argue that communism was right. And they don't have religion either. Actually, there is a resemblance between the different religions in some ways. There's some overlap. I mean, the communists look after their own and have health services and look after babies and men and their women folk and their men folk. And then they want us for war and so on. And they have a civilization which is pretty good. They get similar to Western civilization. And the Muslims, they don't have such a good arms. Such well organised in armies, really. They're peaceful people, basically. And you might not think so. They're preferable violent attacks than everybody else, but they don't have the organisation of the army. It's only a standing army in this country. In some countries they do, but they appear to be disorganised if you read the news reports. There's splinter groups that are violent, but they don't have great organised mechanised warfare that the Westerners have. But they're quite capable of it. They could do it. But they really want to believe in individuals doing things. And if you go to the high streets or Muslim shops, and they're just trading for the family, and that's what they're doing. And they're not interested in anything else. Well, they come over here with nothing and start selling things and whatever they do. What the fashion is. And that's it. And most people are right. But these are great organised factories and stuff. Factories are the way the goods are produced. But it's very difficult to run a factory because I have briefly, but it's very difficult to do that. Because you produce one thing and you produce another one. You've got to keep on doing that. It's the same bit of metal or whatever it is you're making, same bit of turning, and you've got to have skills to do it. Sometimes when you turn on, you just produce one article for 10 years, and you get fed up with it basically. And you swear and you throw things about, and you want your holiday. You know, it's miserable life, and you die basically. And if they thought that's what would happen, they wouldn't do it. That's the problem. They want holidays and enjoy life, and the privileged who do that, and they die too. They do have religion, but it's sickness. We're a sick society, and it's called the human beings have this disease of knowledge about death, and we can't get away from it. I'm being close to death, and although I'm aware of it, it's not too bad at the moment. And of course, I have delusions as well. But go back to my flying saucer at the moment. My mother's waiting for aliens to pick her up, before she died. And she was waiting for them. She died. She was actually waiting for them to collect her. And yes, hurry, she said, hurry up, I'm dying. You can't help. I need to get out. But we don't know what happened because there was nothing visible. There were no aliens visible. I was there, but I was there and I heard it. and there was no convulsion or the person will shake and convulsion when the oxygen runs out of the brain, which indicates the brain wasn't there when she died. So the brain was taken out. I don't know. The surgeons who gave her the first water may have taken the brain out, as I was told there was no brain in the head, but I didn't see it. Anyway, I don't know what happened. But, so, I mean, when I was younger, I would do things. If I got in a dangerous situation, my brain would eject and find make a new body for itself, save itself up, and the old body would die. And I've done that more than once, you know. But brain ejection, you know, this thing is where you are, and that's most typical thing is down here or here. It's actually up there. And I told her to press, press the eject button, you know, get out, and so leave the body behind. But she wouldn't. She had a hand. And well, she's possible the life forces now somewhere else, and she's continuing. Along with her husband here, you know, so it's a good joke, but we don't know. And I wouldn't have thought it would come up here again. No normal alien would ever come to this place to experience the horrors of this place. Terrible place. Full of mad people, knives and guns and rushing about trying to get things. And they eat each other. Yeah, they feed, well, some of them eat each other, but they feed off each other. Awful animals, you know. We eat our animals anyway, it's called carnivores, and it's not nice for it to be, it's what we are. I think, you know, I should be vegetarian perhaps, but vegetarian is quite healthy, so it could be done. But it's a computer situation. And I don't know exactly what. And they accuse me of this crime, and it's not nice. I don't know, they actually believe it. You know, when a court finds somebody guilty, everybody believes it, but I didn't attend the trial. I had no idea where it was. And, well, it didn't take me there. So it was, I got a letter, you know, and well, basically, I don't remember much about it. It was, I didn't do it, and rubbish. No, I don't commit crimes, basically. They accuse me of these things. You know, because I say they're aliens and space and so on, that upsets people because they mean they're not mortal. They attack me and accuse me of crimes. They've got a philosophy idea, you know. This Boniface, the son of Athlon from Boniface, and what's on these popes, he thought that people who didn't think that they're immortal would commit crimes because of nothing to stop them. You know, people at that time, they taught people that if they did something, they would be killed by this imaginary god who would know what they were doing, and they wouldn't get him. So that was the way of controlling them. It's all made up. I've read a book over there, made up. It was made up. And so if people believe that, they commit crimes, but basically they don't. People don't do nasty things to each other, and not normally. It's only in dire circumstances. And people will fight to death. It's awful. But when civilization breaks down, it really does break down. People start killing each other in the street with their bare hands, which is what happened in South Africa. I get very angry, and I'm angry because of what's happened to my friends, what's happened to me all my life. I've been robbed all my life, lied about, scarred, all sorts of things. No reason at all. And obviously, I wasn't present during the thing. Well, what I don't remember. I don't know what happened, but I may have been brought over to another country, in which case I don't know about this country. Well, no different, of course, from anybody else, but the idea of Hitler was that nothing cost anything. You just have the things that are available and you do your work that you could do. That was the idea, and you'd have a good life. If it doesn't do with money, you know, they're making money. That didn't go into it. The communists are similar. Didn't like each other, but that's what it was. And they believed it. You know, the people would donate their services for nothing, and get their goods, their life, and most of what you had was to do with your work, but you would have other things, not necessarily hobbies or work, and some hobbies as well. Which is Germans didn't do that. They just didn't do that. But you know, it's your work was what you did, And so it was a different society. And its strength and joy was to do with doing things that you wanted to. You donated your services, you could raise something or something, and that would be your donation. And it got quite well organised, and they believed in it. And it was quite a good society. Some communism, that was a good society too. But the British most of the British are these raw lunatics who want everything, they tax it, want money. They don't do any work themselves, they just want their money. And I was told, I want more money. We've educated you, we've given you a degree, we want our money. Well, actually, I paid my degree myself, and of course, so it is, but that didn't help me. And it's a bad society, and so it's not nice. And I feel pretty sick, actually, pretty unhappy. It's not nice. And basically, I don't want to face execution again, really. It's not very nice. But especially if they do it and don't tell me after you've done it, you're still alive. And yes, I think the police were supposed to be, so they rang me up and said, I was. I said, all right. They said, well, your dad's executed, he's still alive. So I don't know, I don't want to get. I wish he'd be executed, well, good for you, because you walk faster. I don't know what's going on. Because being a space alien, of course, you could grow in only body weight if you're killed. I just wouldn't guarantee that. Wouldn't go for execution if I thought because it might happen. So I don't believe it. And so I lost touch with her. She probably thinks I'm dead. And then when I ring up to ask her, because she thinks I'm dead. And this Romanian girl, well, if it was the person ringing, I don't know that it was because I was awake. It could have been one of my people who would get rid of me. Come, Neville probably. He's just across the road. I think he was there, but well, I don't know what happened. I wasn't awake. But it's the same. Be a nice girl. And I could have given her a home, and but she could have claimed carer's allowance to look after me, which means she would have had an income. But it didn't happen. Well, if I see her again in the baking patch, she goes to her. And I don't know when she's there. I just arrive around, and if I see her, I talk to her. She's normal. I know where she stands, but she doesn't know where to stand there. And there's no reason why I shouldn't move. Or somebody else go there. But I just happened to see her. And it's sad. And I don't know what's happened to me. Yeah, I can see on the computer where she draws the money I send her out, and how much she's got. And I know she hasn't got where she got last all day tomorrow. And she eats in McDonald's, and McDonald's around here in the Spa. And the Spa, she gets sandwiches and stuff in the Spa, which is the way she lives. And when I was younger, that's how she lived. And she says she's camping now rather than sleeping on the street. So she's getting better at it. Last time I saw her, she was at a camping site. So she could, if she could get a tent, she'd be quite respectable. You need to get rain off. She had a second sleeping bag. A decent tent would protect you. And I don't think a small tent, bivouac tent, would be sufficient to keep her dry. And that would be a good idea. I don't know how much they cost, but a good idea. I tried to contact the Red Cross in Vienna to say that this person is not being very sensible the way she's behaving, and she needs support. The Red Cross do have hostels and places where she can be looked after. I don't think they pay for a passage here because this place, well, this house is quite comfortable, but she'd be in danger if she went out, and danger if she's here as well, because we want to get her because she was terribly badly treated by the British, and the people who attacked her thought they were treating her, but they were attacking her basically. They were treating her, and she couldn't understand why the stuff in the shops wasn't free. As in communist countries, all free. So she couldn't understand why she had to pay for it. That's one of the reasons why she went shoplifting. But and same with bus fares. Even in Hungary now, people don't pay for the trams. There is no one fare, but nobody pays it. I don't think there's no way of paying it. You go on the tram and there's no conductor. and there's no machines to pay money. You just get on and go up again. So it's you should, I think you should pay, but it's a very difficult mechanism because I was a foreigner. Paying the tram driver is actually difficult because he's in a separate compartment. You can't, and there's no conductor, so you can't pay. And the trains are a bit different. The stations are open. You have to buy a ticket, and if you're caught, you get an instant fine. But it's not as bad as that. But it's quite common. People travel on trains for nothing too. But the buses are more difficult. They do have a bus driver who collects money and is pretty strict about it. But, people at petrol wage do get cheap travel. They get 10%. They pay 10% of the normal price. But you can get a pass which does go free. So, but it's all complicated. But they let me go for nothing several times, and eventually they decided they had to pay that to charge me. But, it's just different. It's a different country. But, when you read the officials, you find they're Nazis. They think different. Nazis. Just aren't nice. Doctors have training, and one thing they learn is how to give a lethal injection. If a person is suffering or is no longer careful to making a contribution, they just finish them off. Or we finish up. Not interested in them. That's what Nazis did. They don't have gas chambers, they do have a lethal injection, and they give pills to kill you. So the British do it as well, of course. But so that's what Nazis did, and they still do it. And that's how it is. But I survived. It's not nice. It's awful. It's the Hungary still press. They kill you for your watch, which is valuable to them. And it's a joke. It's a sad part. I don't know what to do, but no, I really don't. The police are people, and they're quite nice people, but they are people first. And one policeman told me that he was a policeman because he believed in Jesus Christ and he would be mortal. And that's why we became a Christian, because he was a policeman. It helps to be quite a policeman as he's a Christian. And it made me feel a bit sick actually because it was a lie. I didn't say so. And people don't like it, being told that what they believe all their life is a lie. They don't like it. I understand that. But the priests have told me that. They've been lying. For 8,000 years they've been lying. Just make it up. Brainwashing. Lectures, brainwashing. Young children brainwashed. Well, the reality of life is very unpleasant, really. And most people know that it's very unpleasant. You've got to survive for a while. And when I had a sheltered existence, I'm not quite sure how it happened, but I were exposed to the Brickbats Society was protected by all I lived with for a long time and nurtured. And when I worked, I was in a protected environment. I don't know why, but that's how it was. And it was quite well organised. Now, not all well, my money's been stolen. It's getting very difficult. The people look after me. They're supposed to look after my money, but they seem to have decided not to give me. So that's what I thought they would look after my bills, and not even paying my bills. They've got 3 unpaid bills just arrived, which they didn't pay, and they didn't enjoy the house. That's pretty bad. So not very good. And they would give me the money left over, which is quite a lot, so they don't use all of it. But they don't, and they say they give it out. Well, maybe give it to other people. Must have done. And well, when that happens, you get angry. The money's being stolen. The money that's I earned is being stolen, and I've had money stolen all my life. Because it's delusions, really. I don't know what the reason is. And I found the people I meet are vipers. They're really nasty people. I was right at first. They pretended friendly, but then they actually hated me. I don't think the scars on my face come onto it. It was the original. These actual scars are put there for what I believe is. They knew that. That's what. It's not the scars themselves. It's a disfigurement. And it's done indulged in Roman times. They're not. But people who don't know me find them alright. But it's very difficult. Life is very difficult. and there's nobody here. I'm on my own. Sad, and the people spontaneously attack me. Not very nice. And they want me to put me somewhere looked after. Well, it's not nice being looked after because the people that look after you kill you. You know, they care about the patients that the people that look after. Oh, they're our source of income. So they bleed them dry and their money and everything else, and then they kill them. So it is to make it old. So set up Mrs. Thatcher to make money out of the old. You know, it's actually done to free up resources of the old because they're stealing their money basically. Well, I've already had this time. It was sort of a period of time, and I really didn't know why I was stealing money. So they were fining me for saying something they disagreed with, and I finally stopped saying it, not because I was being fined, because I lost interest. But I'm very angry about it. They have no right to do it. No right to say what's true. No right to fine me. They're not. It was just viciousness, you know. And they said the great civilization we built up was based on this lie, and they know that it was. They say it's justified by having a great civilization called the West, which is based on lies, and they kill everybody who gets in that way. It's awful. And they complain about ISIS or something, but they do nasty things. And I think this probably killing is probably a bad idea for ISIS because it's giving them bad publicity. It's not the right thing to do. It doesn't stop the attacks they're getting, and the behaviour is causing a reaction which is not good for them, and that will cause them to be defeated because the people are turned against their own people. But I don't know what the original is. So I don't know, but it's pretty strict, but for some people it's peaceful, you know. But people who, well, you know, according to the course says Wesley, but you know, but stealing is a very minor offence, and they do so very severe punishment. And the person who's maimed for having his hand cut off for stealing cannot easily earn a living, so he starves to death, and his family starve. So it's not a good idea. It's not going to benefit society. And it's better if they reform them, or taught them not to steal, which they can. And most of them restore them anyway. And the British are worse. Take the brain out. It's a very bad society. When I complained about Elvis Skies attacking me, I didn't realise I was talking to the people who complained about it too. Were on his side. You know, they supported him because he was a pig and they're pigs. So going to their belt was pretty obviously doomed thing to do. And well, the police won't. They know he's a guilty criminal, but they won't attack him because he's above the law. Being a pig is above the law, is divine, and so on. And, basically, he can't be got at. Well, that's unfortunate. That's what causes violence and wars. And of course, any interaction would be met immediately by people by violence. So the criminals in power have stayed there for 1,000 years. They're planning to be there for the next 1,000 years by murdering everybody who gets in their way and not teaching them the truth. And it's absolutely awful. They're brain damaging children to stop them be understanding that they've been deceived, that they've been teaching them rubbish. It's absolutely awful. And that's brilliant. Now, people come from outside the communist countries are given a good education because mine was destroyed when she came over here because they probably didn't understand it, but to them it was all blah blah, you know, rubbish. But that's understandable. And when a British person opens their mouth talks to me, it's like talking to a lunatic. You are a lunatic. It's all nonsense. And although I speak English and I'm quite reasonably well proficient at it, they talk nonsense all the time. Because of course I was in another country and another planet actually. And so they don't know. And what they don't know, they doesn't care about. And they can't actually do anything about it. And it's pretty sick. But they could be educated. The human race is an intelligent species that could be educated and could live in the great civilization of space called the Galactic Empire or the Galactic Federation, which I've lived in and been there. And Adamski came and talked to us just outside the road out there. Not long after he disappeared, gone off somewhere in space. He said it was like Pan Am up there, you know, catch a saucer anywhere in the planet and in the universe, or anywhere in the galaxy or whatever. And he was he was about 50, and they sterilised his age. Now, I told him he was going on a galactic study to see the various animals, things like that. Well, that's all right, but he was, and other people, I mean, Nellie, the American, but that's what it was, she told me about it, and it was interesting, and I know she told the truth. And the people who talk to her, I think she's mad, because a lot of what she says is in the Bible, you know, and that made a difference. Apparently, she was going to be locked away, and she talked about two sons of the sky. Well, if you read some Bibles, and not the one we've got now, but one Bible did talk about that. You know, people living in the Stone Age, and they put up sticks to against the sun, and they worship them. They worship the sun. They worship these sticks, and the shadow moved around. You know, they actually said there were two shadows, two suns. Interesting. These are called pole shrines. They were. And they were, I've read the Bible. It's in the Bible, which was the first edition, the first impression of the New English Bible. It was there, and I had a copy, and I read parts of it, in all of it, and it was in the Kings. But if you look at Kings now, it's not there. So somebody has rewritten it. Basically, they fudged it, and they lied. And because they say the Jews they believed in God stuff, but they didn't. The people living there were actually sun worshippers. And so so the Jews are really sun worshippers, and the people in the area, and so that's the difference. And so that's a lie. The Bible, even the modern Bible, have lied. They just made, but it's been altered and made up. You know, they said I think there's another section in the Bible talks about sun standing still. Well, really about it, you know, so rubbish. But and they viciously got these sick ideas, bigoted. They can't get out of it. And if you read this part, it was in actually two suns of the sky. One went down, and the other sun came up. And therefore there was day and night, all night. It won't happen again in our lifetimes, and it probably won't happen ever again, but that's what it was. Because it appears that according to a lot of people that the solar system is actually binary, with the other star quite a distance away, and it approaches kinds of elliptical routes, like, well, they obviously can't go close to the others, but and when one solar system passes through the other, it actually causes a lot of problems with bits of rocketiness. Well, big deal. But it goes on for a long time. I really don't know what's going on. I don't know any means of observing the sky. As far as I can see, there's only one sun, but I think for a while there were two, and I know I didn't see it, but people were afraid. And I don't like seeing two suns in the sky. I didn't see it, but I didn't like it. And people are always in the world. It happens every 3,000 years or so. And so it's special. A couple of millions of times before. But we're not aware of it because individuals don't see it. It's just a legend. And if it was observed, it wouldn't be publicised because it undermines the teachings of the church. In our countries, it wouldn't be. So interesting. It's a sad world. And we need to wake up, see reality. Well, I can't because these poisoners don't damage my understanding. And they mash my electric brain too. Which can damage an electric brain. It's a bit of wiring. It wires up. And the people who are doing this are delusional themselves. You know, they got their own delusions. I don't know. And they're nasty people, really bigoted, you know, a bit like Ian Paisley was. But anyway, I really don't understand it. Some religious people are very, very hard in their ideas, and they're hard. You can see the hardness. They've been probably their ideas have been bitten into them by Cain, and that causes them to be hard. It causes them to suffer like that, and that's why they're probably suffering themselves because they've been beaten. And I was attacked. And I don't know. And they talk about beating their enemies in a vanquished. Well, they're criminally insane, as I can say. They attacked an old man, took his money. So, and that's not nice. And here's a joke. Well, the first who took it, I think he's died. I think the first who stole thousands of pounds from his friends has died. So if he died, I don't know. I've not seen him for a long time. Where he's died, I've gone on holiday somewhere. Nobody's not, man. So chances of the fact that he's died. and it's forever. He says, no point in it. You live a life stealing money, you die just the same. Because it's theft, you can't really enjoy it. I mean, I inherited money. I was quite pleased. I stole it. I was stole. Well, that's not nice. Very unhappy. And I've now had my rights of access to money and rights taken away from me. Not a false charge, basically. I was down as guilty as charged. Now that's been overturned, and so I should get my rights back. But they don't want it. They don't want it. And well, I feel like tearing to pieces myself. And I like to. When you get angry, you do actually do it. You tear people apart because they're so bigoted. They're bigoted. You maybe I'd be bigoted to them, but they're ill people. And if they start jeering at me and spying on me and stealing things, I get angry. And if they try and kill me, well, I get angry. I've got these things. It's all over. I don't even need guns. But I get angry. And they're attacking me all the time. It's not very nice. And they call themselves Christians. They're not. They're not following it at all. I get angry. Angry man. And you look back in anger. Unfortunately, when you look back in anger, you're too late, you're too old. But when you're young, you don't know. So hopefully Scotland will vote to be independent and get rid of these British scums, basically. They sound nice, they're all smooth talking, but they're nasty people. And they've got very powerful weapon systems, very dangerous. And they glorify over it. They glorify over shooting people down in flames, basically. And so that's what they glorify. So if you disagree with it, they shoot you. So a bit like the communists, right? No, totally different. But you say they're not nice people. And people with money are like that. They're horrible. They grab it and they keep it. Hang on. It's difficult to hang on to things. I'm surprised to do what they say. They want to take it off when I haven't done so yet. I think they want to put me in a home, but it's not nice. I'll be poisoned, that's all. Poison me. Get rid of me. Well, people don't like it, especially old people. Old people don't like that. And they've got these retirement homes down the road, and they look nice. In fact, they're places where people, it's a death house where people are poisoned and put down. So nice. So we don't need those. Old people should live in their own houses, which they've had all their lives, looked after if they need it in the house, and they have to be free and take part in the society they live in, and relate to other people in the society locally, and they can make a contribution by being grandfather, called a grandfather effect. Quite important. That's why we live that long. And young people go in these new flats, with maybe more than a sister, because young people might need assistance, but basically for young people, young couples and singles. And they need housing because a lot of the young people are so poor, can't afford these places, they end up on the street and they can't get jobs. Well, most of the people who get jobs earn a lot of money, not more than older people do, because the wage is fixed, they stop increasing, whereas some people get money. But if people don't work, get nothing. They might get welfare. There's a difference between welfare and unemployment. Unemployment people got a right to have it because you couldn't get a job, or there was no job available. But the attitude was that the employer provides employment, and the workers benefit by giving them money in a job which the employer does very well. And if you weren't able to given a job by the employer, you got unemployment benefit as a right, because they couldn't give you a job. Whereas welfare is for people who are destitute and somewhere are able to find work, or something's gone wrong. And so that's what it is. And there's job seekers allowance. The idea is that you're seeking a job is actually work. I've not in that position because I've been a pension, but I know how difficult it is to get jobs, because some of my friends are trying to find work and they can't get it. And it's difficult. Some people are qualified, got a PhD or a degree, and they can't find work in that subject, and so they're with them. Now, the other, because they've got a degree or a PhD or whatever, they should be able to start their own work and work themselves and make money that way. Most of the successful ones will do that. So it's a bad situation. And of course, in this country, you can't do the people who run the social services try to stop you doing that because they think you should get a job. The problem is we've got very archaic ideas. But whereas a free society, people with ability and have the capacity, or have the qualifications, or maybe they're just skilled, they can, or skill is actually qualification, skill, they can generate income for themselves and employ people. And that's how it should be. And a firm is actually a group of people who work together to support themselves and their families and the community. That's what a firm is. And so it's the social services seem to be ruining people's lives basically, and we should do without them. And they should put them in the sack, and all these psychiatrists just sack them, just poisoning, murdering people. That's what they do. They're stealing their money. I mean, this psychopath who started psychiatry, his idea, if you stop managed pension, what happens? Does he go to work? Does he get better off? Well, that's the sort of thing he did. So he stole people's pensions. And I think there was talk, I went to this Christian meeting, and they talked about this experiment in Argentina, where I think it was Argentina, they had terrorists and gangsters, as it is now. And they would persuaded them, people on pensions, things were persuaded to give that up and go to work and get a job. And people at 70 were working for did work for a while, but I'm told it's now communist countries taking a vote with communists. That's a joke. So it didn't work. So, the promise of work wasn't there. It started off right, it didn't work very well. I don't know why. But people at 70 can't do the things that a 20-year-old can do. They're not strong enough. And they don't have a skill, they lose their skills, and they also lose their minds. That's the rest of us. And I'm quite old, so to suggest that people in that age should work. People might live longer, they don't not able to work longer. That's the problem. That's the problem. They want to reduce soldiering. Well, I've already got one eye closed on this eye, which will retire this. This one. That one. That's right. I can't do this all right along the way. The left eye, my left eye is closed because my strength. So it's difficult for me to do shoulder. I can do it, but my hands shake all over the place. So it's not so bad as it was. It's the psychiatric jokes are making me incapable to work. They give these pills to make you go to work. In fact, they make you unable to work. And chopping your brain out, people can't do anything about it. Here, just die in the street, lie in a shop doorway, and try to beg, perhaps, or you struggle about, or you just lie in bed in hospital and just sit around, nothing on. It's much easier to look after them than nothing on because they're awful. Well, they smell, trouble place. We don't want places like that, and we don't want old people's homes. Most old people's homes, they smell. Now, if old people are given drugs that make them incontinent, now there's no reason to give those drugs. They don't make them sit about and don't do anything. The people who are carers do not want to listen to them. They're not interested. They just want to sit there. And if they try to move about, they're pushed back in their seats. It's very unpleasant in an old people's home. All the publicity, it's not true. It's very unpleasant. I've seen it. The inmates very badly treated. They sometimes put knives through their heads, pen knifes, to destroy part of the brain to make them just sit there and they start dribbling. It's awful. And they drug them, poison them, and it really is unpleasant. And the carers just want their lunch. They have a lunch, and the people the care for just sit around. It's unpleasant. I don't think all of the old people are aware of that, but that's what I saw. My mother wants to leave, you see, but I would have taken her home, but they wouldn't let me. Because their money depends on having her there. That's the problem. She was still being paid out of her pension, out of the to look after. They didn't want to lose it because it's money. So I think old people's homes should be abandoned, basically. And it's a socialist idea we don't abandon socialism, we abandon old people's homes. I mean, it's something when I was younger, I thought it was a good idea. You look after people. The idea was not to get rid of old people, but to look after them. They get old. Well, it's not like that. They don't look after them. It's overcrowded, and they're just trying to make maximum money. So the people in power who own the things just don't give a damn. It's the same with care homes for children. They take them away, the social service take away from parents, so they run riot, and they get worse in the home. In the family, they do worse off because they're doing down. They're raped and beaten up and everything. And because girls in prison are very attractive to the warders, aren't they? Obviously. And so men are men, and they take advantage. And it's very difficult for men not to, quite honestly, especially when they reach maturity. And so it's a very vicious place. And the British law, they'll be there to their 60s, and by the time they're 16, they're nubile and they're sexually aware. And they do it. Some would are receptive and actually like the attention they get, but basically they're very badly treated. And the boys just beaten up. Come on, boys. And so care homes are not a good idea. The idea, the socialists had this wonderful idea, we look after them, but they're not doing that. Even the schools, the schools. They think that the people who teach, some of them are dedicated teachers, but they shouldn't follow. And I was working as a teacher trainer, and I worked as a teacher as well. But I found that when a young teacher comes in and he wants to impart all his wonderful knowledge, they're not interested. They just swear at him and throw bricks at him, and they're not interested. It's a real shock. They're not interested at all. Rubbish. Now, to teach children successfully, you have to entertain them. You have to get their attention. And then you can teach them, but it's difficult. Not many people have that skill. It's a charisma. It's a charisma. And some people do it, some people can't. The best people to teach children are parents. And in most countries, it is that they have schools, and schools that maybe are good for some people, but not all time. Not boarding schools not all the time. They're vulnerable in boarding school, and as we've seen. But schools are something that teachers should. One time teachers would go to home and teach individuals. It's like better, and we can't do that for everybody. But the school should be smaller and locally, and teachers, the idea of being a teacher is a respected member of the community. But when they start running off with the children, they're not respected. It's not very nice. Well, I worked as a technician as well. I've been a teacher as well. I did do teaching as well, but basically I was a helper. But I did do some teaching. I was originally qualified as a teacher, but they wouldn't let me teach because they didn't know what I taught them. Actually, didn't know them, but they didn't know what I taught them. Well, you get young teachers, and I don't think it's wrong with it. They take out these 15, 16-year-old girls, and they disappear. The girls come back, but they come horribly. So that's how it is. You get one of these young men, and they go out with a group of young women, teenagers basically. Now, I'm not saying there's wrong with that, but that's how it is. And of course, it's placed. Of course, most of them get married. I know some of the teachers I've known have been in their 40s or 50s. They married teenagers and are very happy, basically. And it's actually quite good. So that's nice. Because the teenagers become mothers and so on. And that's how it is, because the man of 50 is experienced and he's fecund, and so you can do it. But that's the reality of teaching. They don't just impart knowledge. So education is right, but it should be in the context of the home. I don't know how you can do that, but if there's a school, it should be just outside the front door, just around the corner. So you can come back for lunch, and the parents are there, and they can come at any time as well. And so it's not these places a long way away from home. You've got boarding schools where they're all run riot, basically. And the children take over and have their own society. So, in reality of school is, and a lot of teachers regard themselves as childminders to keep the children off the street until they go to work. And then they work down the line, especially they don't need the education. And so that's the attitude of teachers. And they don't implement the Education Act. There's this wonderful idea, the Ackley and people had of educating people. well, they think it's good for people, maybe it is, but you don't want everybody to go because you've got somebody to do different jobs. So they need to be taught for their job, but you need to educate them generally because we don't know the future of work. When they go into school, we don't know nobody knows what their future is. And they all live in the future, and we live in the past, so we try to impart knowledge we had, but we don't know what they had. So, so they do jobs that are different from what I did, and I can't do what they do. They do what they do. And so what I taught is not out of date, but it is dated because it's not used so much now, but it is used. I mean, chemistry is still chemistry, and physics is still physics, and that won't change. But things have changed in different places. I talk about this computer stuff I can use it, but I couldn't write code. I did write code for a while. It's all done. It's done by thousands of people, not just me. And so it's all piles and piles on top of each other. It's wonderful, really. And so each person produces a small contribution, which is always the case. And that's why you need a lot of people, because only the little contributions we can all make add up. But as an individual, but it is the same. Education for young children up to 16, they should be quite close to their homes or in their homes. That'd be better. And that's what it used to be. And so they're looked after by people they know, and not by teachers who come from another place. They're not known. I'm not talking about foreigners. It's got a good idea to be foreigners. Be foreign children too. And usually foreign children are very much more attractive than the English children. That's because we're exogamous, it's a joke. But they're different from English children, really. But so it is. Exogamous means a man will marry somebody outside his family, outside his tribe, and outside his country. And it's happening more frequently now. That way the culture that we have gets richer and spreads. And unfortunately, this Romanian girl came in on a plane not very long ago, 2 or 3 weeks ago, and she's suddenly penniless because she had some money. I don't think it's very much, like £100, so that was stolen, so she had nothing, and she's got no money, no support, nothing. And there's no dole for people like that. There's no unemployment benefit. I don't know where she is, but that's people coming from other countries, not just Romania, and they dumped here, and there's no support. Some people are successful, especially the support group here. If there's already a population from their country, they start bringing on, and they support them. But most of that, if they come into a country like England where there's nobody else, they fall heavily, and it's very difficult. When I went abroad, I had an income, but as soon as it was cut off, I was finished. There was no support. I had to go to hospital. I took the decision myself because I knew I couldn't support myself, and it had to be someone, and it was awful. It really was. Supporting for people in that country were awful enough. I think they understand the same as here. Support for people from other places is very poor, especially if they have hard times. They get robbed, or if they get raped, or if they're imprisoned, they're robbed. It's dreadful. So they're very vulnerable. That's true of all foreigners. I mean, the foreigners are down the world, so we come from other countries, right? And they're very dangerous. But I have been abroad before. I get on with people. Getting on with people is very important. Have a support group, but you must have money and or work. When I was younger, I had no money, but I was able to support myself. And it's difficult. And in this country, I'm a foreigner. Just what it is to me. The culture's changed, and I live in a different world. It's difficult. And being alone in here, of course, I got no references, no reference point. At one time I had people living with me, and they all got thrown out. Nobody. They all thrown out. They were sort of protecting me. In fact, they're making me more vulnerable. In fact, they want to kill me, so they want them there. It makes it more difficult for them to kill me. There's somebody here to be a witness, obviously. So that's the reason. And they're planning to kill me because they say there's life in space and we die, and they don't like it. They're criminals, basically, who will die. And they accuse me of crimes to make it justify their crimes. Well, that's what happens. But when you're trying to kill a space alien, that's more difficult.